Ken and Trish are spinning the block again. The congregation is tired. Let's get into the latest episode of Love and Marriage Huntsville now. What's up, y'all? It's your girl V with Reality Recap here for another Tea Talk session. And today we're talking about last night's episode of Love and Marriage Huntsville. Before we get into it, let's take care of a little bit of business. Make sure you're following and supporting, please, on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and Threads. What you see here at the bottom of the screen, Reality, that's REALITEA_recap for all your reality trending news and gossip. And like this video, please share it. Subscribe to my YouTube channel. It's coming across the bottom of the screen, Reality Recap 2876. It's also linked in my bios on all my social media platforms for easy access. And set your alerts on YouTube so you don't miss any of my trending reality TV recaps. All right. This episode was a little uneventful, not a whole lot going on after we saw in the last episode this epic blow up between Tisha and Destiny. We really didn't circle around to that much. They haven't met back up again, except for Destiny met with Nell and Chris to tell them about the blow up and kind of go over what happened, and Chris telling Destiny as well what happened with her and with him and Marcel. So they kind of exchanged stories. I really wanted Destiny to go to straight to Kimmy. That's the conversation that I was looking to happen at this point, was Destiny to talk to Kimmy about what in the world did you tell Tisha that she showed up at my open house place of business yelling and screaming like she had lost her mind over this small joke that Destiny made in her conversation with Kimmy. I really was hoping that she was going straight to her next, but they just, kind of exchanged stories of what their latest encounters were with the Scotts. We then see Trish and Ken sit down. We know from the previous episodes, Ken moved out. He's been seen out with another woman, I believe in Nashville, a traveling nurse that he says is more in her soft girl era. She's more financially independent. He continues to hint at as if he pays for everything for Trish when she has said multiple times she has a great job, and that is not the case. But he continues to hint at that, and he said that previously. But he sits down with Trish in this episode and he's telling her, hey, he was upset, the back and forth. He did do some things as, some childish things as messing with this other woman, hoping that it would get a rise out of Trish. And, Trish says she wasn't innocent neither. We heard her say in the other episode that she had, been talking to someone. How far it went, we don't know. And they come around to the conclusion that they both still want to fix it. So after him, seemingly, the timelines are just not making sense to me. Trisha's not a good storyteller. I told you guys that before. So it seems like they're together. He left, he came back, he left again. I don't know. Was he all out of the house all of this time? I don't know. Is he going to continue to stay out of the house? They didn't make that clear, but they've decided to spin the block again for the 100th time and try to make it work. Uh Ken did do an interview recently and he said that he's been single since about January. So even after what we're seeing here, and he said when he, answered that question, he was like, maybe I shouldn't speak on this because I she said that, he said my contract wasn't signed yet, but he spoke on it anyway. So he's saying in this recent interview I posted maybe about a week or two ago that he is single now. I've been looking at his page. I don't see any signs of Trish. It looks like he's kind of removed her from his social media altogether. So doesn't seem to be any signs of them still in a relationship. Again, that could be for the show purposes. I don't know, but it is now almost end of April, and he's saying that he's been single since about January. So whatever happened in this episode of them trying to work it out apparently didn't work. At this point, I just feel like Trish is still married and has whatever traumas, because I don't even think Marquez is that bad of a guy, to be honest, but whatever traumas she has or resentment she has from her estranged husband, of him not being there to support her when she lost her family members back to back, the grieving of those family members she lost, there seems to be a lot of healing that needs to be done on her end. And with Ken, he seems to thrive in that side dude energy. He looks to be always handheld, feeling like he's loved and smothered, and to the point that he went out to mess with another woman, hoping that would get a rise out of Trish, was just childish. So there's some growing on both sides that needs to be done. And I personally think that they should not be together, at least for now. They clearly do love each other, and maybe later down on the line, it'll work out. But there is some true issues that need to be worked out before their relationship is going to thrive. Clearly, after the continuous roller coaster back and forth, breakup to make up environment that we've been watching, that also has included some extreme arguments that we've only heard about but not have really been privy to. So wishing them both the best of luck, but I don't think right now they are together. We'll see what happens when we get to the reunion, which doesn't seem to have been taped as of yet. And I feel like Ken knew this going into this relationship. You knew she was married, you knew all of those things that she had going on, and you still chose to try to make it work and step in and be a father figure so early on in her, separation from her husband. It just wasn't set on a good foundation. But we can watch them try to fix it through here and see if we get any more information as to why they're no longer together. We also saw in this episode Destiny sit down with Twan, who is Nell's godson, the bodyguard. And there's some chemistry there. They're talking and they enjoy hanging out, and they're closing restaurants together, having conversation, not realizing no one else is left in the restaurant. Real rom com like. But he mentions, which was weird to me, he's like, "So, have you heard this rumor about me and Kayla, who is Nell's daughter?" And I just found it really odd that he mentioned that to her in that manner. It was almost if he wanted to see if she heard it, because I think personally there's some truth to it. Just the way he brought it up, it seems very guilty. And she's like, "No, I haven't heard that." And he really didn't confirm or deny what was happening. It was more so, "Hey, I'm just around that family all the time. I train Kayla. She posts videos of her workouts, and now here's this rumor." It was just weird the way he placed it in the conversation after all of the flirting he had did with Destiny. For him to place that into the conversation was just weird and giving guilty vibes. Um, Nell, she sits down with her children, with her sons, and I really want Nell to take the stress off of her plate. She has so much going on with grieving the loss of her mother, Chris losing his license, her business, and trying to, make sure that's running smoothly. She seems to take on a lot of her family's issues, but I feel like one that she could take off her plate is worrying about what these grown ass children are doing, especially Lance. She keeps trying to talk to him. She wants him to stay out of the streets and out of the clubs and be home with his children. But I do feel like Lance is a bit of a hoe. He's getting fame from this show. A little bit of fame comes even more. Not to say he's not a bad looking guy, but on top of that, he's on TV. He has a business. You know, he's already 3 baby mamas in. And that ain't stopping nothing. So the DMs are probably popping and he outside and she's wanting him to kind of settle down and not have any more children or continue this outside lifestyle. But he's not gonna listen. I wish he would just take the stress off of her and allow him to just learn the hard way. He already is with 3 baby mothers. Um, and even with that in this episode, when Destiny tells Nell that there is a rumor that Kayla is messing with Twan. And she gets extremely upset. Like I thought her head was going to explode. And I'm saying, well, he's your godson. You don't think he's a good guy or what is going on here? But maybe not, because she did not seem happy about it. She really wants Kayla, it seems like heads down working, and not having children out of wedlock. She wants her to get married. And I'm like, Twan isn't a good candidate for that. She also did mention she thought that Twan used to flirt with Kiki a lot and um never would see anything coming with Kayla. And we know Destiny also was dating Twan as well. So maybe that's why Twan like a older woman, I think. So it was surprising to me too that there may be something going on with him and Kayla. But I just don't understand why Nell was so upset about it. Maybe because she was blindsided, didn't know that this was happening. But I'm not interested to hear what she has to say as to why she doesn't think that he's a good suitor for Kayla. Um, is he not rich enough? I don't know. I really am interested to hear more about that. We do see in the upcoming episode that Kayla will sit down with Chris and Nell and get questioned about this relationship. And they left us with a cliffhanger with her face like this. So maybe there is something going on. Maybe there isn't. We'll find out more. But this was a light episode. We do see coming up but all of the women are going to get together. I know Trish called Nell saying she wants to do a ladies' night, girl, let your hair down type of night, but she had no plans ready, typical, or what she wanted to do. So we'll get to see everyone sit down again, all of the women. I'm interested to see what Kimmy has to say for herself after starting this nonsense between Destiny and Tisha, in my opinion. We'll see where that goes and see if Nell and Tisha can keep their relationship going after the beef between Chris and Marcel. So still more to come. Again, not an eventful episode this week that just this Saturday that just passed, but coming up definitely some intense conversations to come. So I'm seated for that. But yeah, that's my thoughts on last night's episode of Love and Marriage Huntsville. Let me know your thoughts. Are you for Ken and Trish working it out? Or do you think they're better apart? I would love to hear your thoughts in the comments. So before I go, make sure again you're following me on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and Threads. What you see at the bottom of the screen, reality_recap. Like this video, please share it. Subscribe to my YouTube channel, Reality Recap 2876. It's linked in the bio on all my social media platforms for easy access. And set your alerts on YouTube and on social media so you don't miss any of my recaps or trending reality news and gossip. It's your girl V with Reality Recap. And as I always say, reality TV stars are humans too. Let's not forget that. Enjoy the rest of your day, guys. Peace.